Welcome, welcome to another edition of Live on Sunday. It is I, your gracious host, Chris Crowder. I'm so grateful for everybody that could be here. I'm glad to see you made it to another Sunday. If you did not know, our time here, y'all, Sunday is officially your first day of the week. On the first day of the week is when we try to get our mind right. You know, I go by the philosophy, just mind myself, 6 and 1. 6 days labor, 1 day rest. So we work hard, y'all. For 6 days, we do what we're supposed to do. We try to make things happen. We talk to people. You know what you're supposed to do. And on this day right here is when we kind of rest and reset our mind. We think about everything that got going on. We get to check in with people, family, friends. We get to spend time with our loved ones, man. We get to do whatever that needs to get done. So this week was pretty good. You know, I got a lot done. Otherwise, man, got my teeth pulled this week. Ugh. Been to the dentist, man. That was rough. I don't know when the last time anybody's been to the dentist, man. Dentist appointments as an adult sucks. You don't realize how much anesthesia and numbing. I can feel it better. I can feel me chewing better. I can feel my diet and helping. Everything that I've been working for, you see it happen in real time. So that was one main thing, man. Also, man, a lot of work internally, man. Got to reprocess things. Got to get back in my routine. We've had a lot of going on down here in Houston, Texas this summer. So I finally feel like I'm getting back in my groove. I know I haven't done a promo and different things that we talked about, but I definitely feel like angle-wise, I feel everything coming together. So this week, overall, how it started to how it's ended, got to be a solid B+. You know what I'm saying? As you look back over your 7 days, you got to look at what you did. Are you keeping the goals to yourself? Are you being honest with yourself? Everything that you mentioned, did it get done? Do you think it was because of you? Do you think it was because of something you had going on? Or do you think it could be external factors? Mine was a little bit external, 100% still my fault, right? So, like I said, man, the previous week was good, man. I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed the message. Got to eat a little bit better. Got to experiment out, man. Got the pig out of the restaurant. I had a better appetite than I ever had in a while. So it was just real good, man. Still on my health journey. I don't know if I told y'all I'm down 15. I don't know if I look a little skinny in my face yet, down 15. I've always been a person that would try to be physical, but definitely just trying to cut down my weight, man. I really cut back on coffee and everything. It's been rough, but I had to do it because I do feel like I want to make something like that. Health-wise, I'm decent, but just even with that Beat King, R.I.P. Beat King, man, you realize as a black man how much your health is priority. As a man in general, 39 years old is incredibly young for a brother to die of a heart attack or blood clot, whatever happened to him. Health is such a big deal, man. I don't care how much money you got. If you don't make your health a priority, your health is going to make it a priority. Let me say it again. If you don't make health, fitness, and dieting a priority, your body is going to make it a priority for you. So as much as we may go through things, as much as things may happen to us, y'all, take care of your body. Trust me. Take care of your body. I'm down to one solid meal a day. It's hard. Drink my little protein shake, drink my smoothies. It's hard, y'all. But one solid meal per day has helped tremendously. Fruits, vegetables, straight water. You just feel it. You feel lighter. You're sleeping more heavier. It's a small adjustment, man, but I definitely think it's warranted, man. So today's topic is, I don't know if y'all know, man, we have a family crisis in this country. We have a dating crisis in this country. And you know, I love to read and stay on top of things, but I love to bring topics to your decisions that I think you need to be known about. And reading an article this week, did you know that we have had the lowest birth rate in this country in 40 years? Follow me through the path for more success. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel. Let's go. U.S. birth rates have fell to the lowest since 1979. U.S. birth rate decline are one of the lowest in more than 40 years, continuing a two-decade trend of having fewer children. U.S. birth rates have declined to the lowest level in 40 years. Total fell 2% to 3.5 million people, 9 billion people. According to the data Thursday from the United States, the national health statistics at a level not seen over this many years. The women of the U.S. of childbearing are having babies at the lowest since they began. Let's go ahead and talk about this for a second. We got to look at historical evidence, right, and look at why this happened. What happened 40 years ago, y'all? Birth control. Right, the love movement, the hippies. That's right around that time we began to see the rise of feminism, second wave. First wave was trying to get equal rights. Second and third wave feminism that we in right now is trying to cause division. My opinion. But what we see right now, y'all, is we see a family crisis. Why is this such a big deal, especially for my generation? I'm going to get more examples as we go, but these statistics and information, y'all, are very important. We got to understand that if we have less children, less workplace, less people to take care of this country, our service and other industries will continue to fail. Total birth rates in the United States have gone down. Birth rates in countries around the world have been declining. Most nations. It's really hard to raise a family, y'all. Let's keep it real. Instability, prices, all the stuff we got going on. Children are too inexpensive to have, and I get it. So, people from industrialized countries are discouraged from having children, while countries like China and France have done whatever they could. The United States has never done anything to go against the child crisis. We still push abortions, which I do believe is a right. I'm not going to touch that right. But we have not had a pro-family program in America in a while. We don't. We incentivize divorces. We do right now do nothing to incentivize young adults to be married. Young adults are making decisions about family planning. They want to wait until they financially support themselves and their children. A demographic says, University on Chapel Hill, research showed that Americans cite economic stress, work instability, student loans, access to healthcare, climate change, global conflict are all reasons to delay children. People are deliberately parenting. From the CNN report from the Centers for Disease Control, people are choosing to have less children. Birth rates are continue to go low, but they have declined by 11% since the year 2000. While the economy has improved since the Great Recession, individual financial strains like student debt have increased for young people. The work instability working environment, the lack of paid leave from gig economy, ride sharing also decreased family planning. It indicates that unplanned pregnancies have also fallen. Teen birth rates have fallen by 2%. They have capped a 68% decline from 2007. That's crazy. The birth rate from women from ages 20 to 24 have declined by nearly half since 2007. Think about that for a second. Prior to 2007, teen birth rate has by 50%. Wow. Peak birth rates for women have went in between their 30s and 40s, but those rates have declined in 2013. Hispanic women were a rare group that saw birth gain 1%. Low level of replacement since 2007, meaning U.S. depended on immigration to sustain its population level. That's a controversial topic. Let me go ahead and dive in for a second. We have a family crisis in this country because everything we do socially, trendy, emotionally, topics, is all anti-relationships. Everything we do right now from a social level is for less marriages. I don't know anybody, women especially under the age of 25, that look at relationships and marriages in a positive light. If you ask them, the average woman, right, in America right now, and they're in their prime age for relationship and marriage, what do they want to do? This is not 100%, But if you ask them, they'll reference some form of traveling, some form of seeing the world, some form of education, some form of economic stability. All of those things are good. You do not hear about relationships at all. You don't. You hear about everything else external besides your interpersonal relationship. We do not have an emphasis on families and marriage in this country. We have a psychological barrier that we must get through. Right now, marriage is level 8, 9, and 10. 1 through 8 is something else. It's going to school, it's getting money, it's travel, it's something else. Right now, we have a marriage, relationship, couple problem as far as how we think of it. The marriage rate and birth rates are a tremendously bad thing. Why? Number one, we don't incentivize couples. There is no pro-family plans to help you get on some type of benefits. Number two, people don't think it is needed as much. Now, the one thing that is eye-opening that I see living in a major city now is that people don't understand how that's going to affect us down the road. The one reason why I see it's very eye-opening is that when you see elderly couples, especially elderly single couples, you can see the gap. You can see those that can get their house updated, renovated, painted, structurally update the car they drive. What do you see going on? Single elderly communities sound good in thought, but I don't know how they will correlate long term. We got to understand, people that live in big cities have a mentality. This is, I've been hearing. I've been in Houston, Texas, maybe 3-4 years now, right? And even though I go through what we go through, I see the value and importance in relationships. I do. If you meet the average person at the same age, same educational level, whatever, they don't have that. Big city gives the appearance of more option, more people, more opportunities, instead of the reality of less option, less opportunity, less quality relationships. Once people finally get to that point, they understand that in the dating and dynamic marriage crisis that we have less of an opportunity, then the reality will go good forward and make a bound. For example, there should be a program for young men and young women to have the ability to mate and date. What do I mean? There is no teenage dating. There is party, drinking, having fun, but there is no symbiotic, let's learn each other. Let's learn how to court each other. What is the point of a family? What is the point of a marriage? What do we do day-to-day life to live life? Yes, you're going to have fun. You're going to go out. You're going to be young, as they say. But after age 23, I'd say 25, what is the point of being young like that? For a man, you are starting to get into yourself, right? Age 30, I feel like a man's life really begins. After age 25, after a woman has been out here, you could definitely see it start to change for them. There is no true benefit in the trajectory we are going. So right now, we are at a crisis point. The crisis point is, who's going to choose a different lifestyle? The pro-man advocate, right? How can I tell the fellas to choose a different mindset if the mates that they have options available to them are not choosing that? Let's be frank. Most women right now are not choosing the woman mindset, and that's okay. I understand. But if you understand that you're not choosing that, the hardest thing next is to, when you get a guy that is fully starting to establish himself, to ever agree to it. If I'm a single guy, if I'm a guy that's living in the city, having the options, having the opportunities, and you present me with something now that I'm at my peak form, why would I want one? Why would I limit my opportunities when you had the opportunities you didn't limit yourself? Why would I tell myself, living in one of these major metropolitan cities, I make more money, I'm more fit, I'm more wise, I have more opportunities? Why would I limit myself? It would be unfair to me to have that mindset that men have to limit themselves, because they're not. We don't look at the traditional values of that's why you build together, but it makes sense. You build together because at each point in your life, as you age and as you grow, you will begin to lean on each other more. If I have no room to lean and grow with you, how will we ever be perfect together? If we're not leaning on each other, if we're not trying to build some type of bond, friendship, understanding with each other, how do I know it's going to be beneficial? How? Forget that. Forget all that other stuff, y'all. Dating right now is a transactional relationship. It always has been. We never like to put that transactional phase on it, but it's what it is. You're getting a certain level of goods. I'm getting children. I'm getting legacy. I'm getting companionship. You're getting peace, love, and stability. It is what it is. But right now, there is a marketing problem. Most women market relationship as in, I get whatever I want and you get what I want to give you. Don't argue with me. Argue with the men that feel that way. They honestly feel right now the ideal relationship for most women is, I get what I want from the man and I give him what I feel like it. How do you change it? It has to be incentivized. It has to be. From a government, physical, operational perspective, men in marriage have to be incentivized. Now, what are some ways they can incentivize it? Number one, incentivize the marriage programs. I don't know how you're ever going to get guys to sacrifice like they once did. I don't know if it's ever going to be possible. But right now, in the way that we're going in this dating and marriage crisis that we're in, you got to figure it out. I'm going to use a great example for myself. Next year will be 10 years I've graduated from college, right? Shout out to him in 2015, 050. Out of all the guys that I know that went to college, right? Out of all of us that are going and graduated and going about our lifestyle, this is a nice sample size of the top tier of Black Americans, right? Of Blacks in America. I can maybe name 3 to 4 that are married, trajectory married with children. Think about that for a second. Out of a class of, let's say, 400 to 500 people, let's say 10% are actively in relationships or marriages. So if it's 10% for a class 10 years ago, what do you think the number is today? It has to be half. Think about it. Out of all your peers in class and people you know, out of your married age group, how many brothers, homeboys, friends you know right now that are in relationships? Guys, majority of them are single. Majority of the higher income men that I know I went to undergraduate with are single. And they're living life. If you're a single guy in a metropolitan city, how are you not living? You're starting to hit your financial growth peak, status symbol. They're living. Now, do I ever predict when I have conversation with them, do they have settled down a lot on their mind? I don't know. Can you blame them? No. Can you shame them? No. Do I see in the future them settling down potentially? Maybe. But I got to ask a better question. Why should they? When it was time, when they wanted to settle down and they wanted to do the family thing and they had the initiative more to do it, and the people that you went to school with, because one thing we get confused a lot, y'all, especially. You go to college, you get educated. I also believe there's a life portion to that. We always speak about the school portion, but where is the life portion? The life portion is experience, relationship, coupling, loving, channeling, building with each other. I believe most colleges do a disservice with that. There is no love, compassion, loving part of that. So most people that go through that channeling process don't get to experience it, right? So think about this. I'm an educated person. I moved to a city. I'm around more educated women while I'm in college or undergraduate, but I can't date them. If I don't have a certain aesthetic, height, tone, swagger, energy, I can't date them. But now that I'm in the real world, I'm in Atlanta, New York, LA, Chicago, Memphis, Houston, Dallas. Now that I'm where I'm supposed to be, why do I gotta date now? And the hardest thing about why you gotta date now is that I can date anything I want. And with you being able to date anything you want, that means I know I have a lot of options. Now options are there. How do you then go back to being that same gentleman you were before you had it? You can't. So now that we're here, we're in this moment, we're in this point that we know relationship crisis is a big thing. At what age should a man settle down? My opinion, 35. 35 is when a guy should look for a mate. You're more established, you mentally dated, you figure things out. I know that's not a good conversation starter for most people because that does seem like a long time. But from a guy's perspective, 100%, and I've always been a man, that should be where your mark should be. At age 35, man, life will slow down for you. You get to plot, you get to see, you get to professionally know where you want to go, mentally know where your money's going to be at. You get to see those things happening in real time. At age 35, you'll feel it slowing down to you. You get your second wind, chest will get broad. You're reading the accolades. Everything you've done will start to stack. However, it's going for the inverse for most women. I do understand 30 is a big deal, ladies. I get it. I never knew how big of a deal. But that age 30 number is the boogeyman number. And I get it. But after you've turned that age, what do we do now? Because we have these numbers being shown. We're down the lowest in almost 40 years, 4 decades. And the reason why it's such a big deal, y'all, is a lot of programs we have in America, y'all, we don't understand that they're new. Education is new. The Great Society made public education free. Most people don't realize prior to the Civil Rights Bill, Martin Luther King and our ancestral lineage fighting for it, education wasn't free. Could we see a time where it goes back to being charged? Could we see a time where some of these entitlement and government programs go away? Could we see a time that that philosophy of you catch what you eat? Could we see a time that we go back to historical lows? Yes. And why is that scary? It's scary because that means that we will have to go back to where our grandfathers and them did. We can be an industrialized society, be much harsher. There could be less benefits, government programs, and things to go around. It's scary when you think about it. I don't believe it's far-fetched. Yes, we have these crises in these countries. Yes, we have affordability. Yes, we have the dynamics. Yes, we have men. Yes, we have things that have not been resolved. But when you go into solutions, there's only 2 ways you can solve things. A, the hardest way you can increase growth, which means make more families, incentivize marriages, which is the hardest thing, which I believe we should do. There has not been a marriage-centered program in America in 4 decades. There has not been a pro-family program. Everything has been break families up, abortion, whole blah, blah, you know. We have to figure out a way to do it the other way. Maybe there should be some programs. Maybe there should be some housing grants. Maybe there should be mortgages, anything. I don't know. But we have to figure out a way to increase American families. We're in a crisis. And with that crisis, This is the second uncomfortable thing that must happen if you don't know how to get growth. You have to cut expenses. With you cutting expenses, that means you have to trim down some of the fat. That could be government programs. It could be assistant things. It could be free money they're giving out. It could be anything. If we do not figure out a way to spur growth, cuts are coming. I believe it has to be twofold. I believe we have to offer incentive to families and we have to cut. That is the only way we're going to see the growth, the development, the reestablishing in America. All of those things tend to happen. If we don't see those things happening within the next 4 to 5 years, we're going to start seeing little small starts to collapse. We already see it now. Let's think about it. Most boomers take more away from the economy than they paid into it. Let's get this straight. You work X amount of years. If you work to get a check to pay for you, it makes sense. Should you get a check to pay for you if you haven't paid into it? It's a toxic situation to think about it. But right now, I don't know. The way the generation is going, the elderly, us, will we have enough information, money to sustain that? Or will we have a greater class of working elderly? That's the kind of conversation that needs to be happening. Because as we see right now, we're learning from the mistakes of the generation before us. As uncomfortable as it is, millennials, we got to understand reality is hitting us in the face. Houses are unaffordable. Inflation is crazy. Our lifestyle is being compromised. But until we make some drastic changes, it's going to get worse. Remember, you can either spur growth with investment, with numbers, with classes, with programs. I believe a working class structure needs to be provided. I believe that a family-based program should be pushed and promoted. As much as I understand women do need abortion rights, and I'm never going to say they don't. That's ignorant, right? We need to figure out a way to get our numbers up. As much as abortion matters, what are we doing to incentivize dating in the family crisis? If we don't make these strong choices now, they're going to hurt us in the future. Let's think about this for a second. Most men say openly they don't want a relationship, they don't want marriage. Men are choosing peace and staying single. Men should be our focus. Ladies, you've had your time. You've had your shows, you've had your motivation, you've had your point of views. I get it. You are important, you're wise, we love you, we want to be with you forever. We get it. But right now, we need to incentivize the men. Right now, our men need to get approached. What do we need to get it back right? It's never going to be like it once was. Get it. What can we do to produce changes now? We have to. We have to come to the table with some type of structure, some type of ideas, some type of ideology, some type of focus. I propose my community first, the Black community. I get it, the divide, right? We always talk about that crap. But one thing we gotta start talking about first, y'all, is Black families. Not Black men, not Black women. They're not separate. The Black family. Where are the Black families at? Not the community. Black families. How are they feeling? What benefits do they have? What incentive programs do Black families currently get? Is there any investment in Black families? Do Black families feel heard? Do Black families feel welcome? Do Black families feel incentivized? Do Black families feel like they are welcome? Do Black families get the support? Do Black families get the love and admiration that many others get? Once we start at the head right there, Everything else will follow. Until we target openly, hey, we need more black families. We need more structured, honored, respected, loving, helping black families. Until we understand that black families are not going anywhere. Need of it. Until we understand the desire takes, we're going to keep hitting our head against the wall. Whenever we speak of families, y'all, it's eye-opening how we have to use male and women. We say them a lot like they're not one family. We say them a lot like we can't see the goals. And I'm not talking about the pictures, the wedding. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the ones you see going on together. Remember, us millennial generation, we must understand that our demographics are very open. I'm gonna show you. Showing you is better than believing. Again, comment, like, and subscribe to the channel, y'all. So good for y'all to chop it up with me. Let's go ahead and go to the website. I want all y'all to see right now. blackdemographics.com. blackdemographics.com. Why is this important? It has the stats. It has the statistics. Oh, black statistics, right? Let's go ahead and look at it. So let's look at it. All right. There's an estimated 15% of black people. Did you know that? Our population numbers have been rising. Let's look at the numbers right now. I'm over here checking on me. I'm looking up my phone too. Blackdemographics.com if you ever want to look. Over time, these are the numbers we're going to be looking at. There's an estimated 51 million, let's raise it up, million black Americans in the country. 2013 Census Bureau said the black population, which is 15% of let's keep going. Thing a little slow. Let's go by household. They're showing the black population by numbers. Income, housing, middle class, black wealth, and blacks in poverty. Let's go to marriages, y'all. This is a huge thing. Blackdemographics.com. All right. A little janky coming together. It's coming together. Over the last decade, marriage has been a declining institution among black Americans. All Americans, as I say in general. But it's even been more evident in the black community. In 2020, 30% of black Americans were married compared to 48% of all other Americans. Nearly half black Americans have never been married. Let's keep going. Now, this is an eye-popping stat for you. Black men get married at a rate of 33%, which is pretty high. It is pretty high. 3% are separated, 10% are divorced, 3% are widowed, 57% of brothers have never been married. Let's think about it. We got 10 men, 3 are married, 5 have never been married, 1 of them is divorced, the rest of the 1 or 2 are either separated or widowed. When 27% are married, 13% are divorced, 4% are separated, 8% are widowed, and 48% have never been married. Let's go on to the rest of the stats. The average Americans have a marriage rate of 48%, 11% are divorced, 34% have never been married. After viewing the stats, you can see black women are now married more. Excuse me. There is a higher percent of black women that are divorced and widowed than men. Also in 2020, Just under half of black women have never been married, which up to 44%. Look at it again. Compared to race and stats by gender and ethnicity, right? Black are married 30%, 50% have never been married. Hispanics are usually married at a rate of 43%, 42% have never been married. Whites are married at a rate of 52%, 28% have never been married. Asians are married at a rate of 58% now married, and 31% have never been married. A lot of things that comes to stats and statistics about that, right? But what we see right now is that this shows to me the heart of the dating and marriage crisis. Remember, when we speak about black family issues, when we talk about wealth, money, income, this is a starting point we need to be talking about. The wealth, the money, everything else is the add-on to it. If we don't have more relationships where families and children can flourish, what are we talking about? If we don't have a baseline structure which we can build upon, what are we talking about? Right now, we see in real time with real numbers, our marriage numbers are not good. They're not. We are below average. We are not meeting expectation. Doesn't mean that we can't hit it. But as of right now, we see marriage is on a decline. What that says to me, families are on a decline. What that also says to me, the focus on coupling, meeting people, loving, dating are on a decline. And if these things are on a decline, how can we circumvent it? We got to incentivize our men. We got to incentivize our couples. We got to make sure that we understand that these things are not just a marriage type of thing. We got to understand that if we want the employment, the wealth, the businesses, all the things that we hear being championed, we got to understand these numbers matter. Without these numbers mattering, how can we expect to see growth? Let's go to the employment side of it. Black American employment. Black men are employed at a rate of 69%. 5% are unemployed. 25% are not in the labor force. 1% are in the military. The rest of the Americans, 80% are employed. 3% are not employed. 16% are not in the labor force. 1% are in the military. That 1% in the military is very eye-opening to me. I never thought about it that way. I thought it would be much higher, but it's good to know that most Americans really don't have men in the military. Let's go to women. The rate is 72%, which is really good. In the United States, they really match the numbers with more of a higher percentage about marriage rates. About unemployment. What am I saying with all this, King Crowder? Why are you giving us all this stats and numbers and stuff I don't care about? I'm saying this so you understand when we hear these points of why do we have declines in this? Why are we having conversations about why families don't matter? Why is a dating thing a big topic to you? This is why. It's not just dating, ladies and gentlemen. We can see trajectories on where families, friends, and relationships going. We got to look at the numbers. How we do our 7-day-a-week check-in reflection. We got to understand this is the exact same thing. As we reflect and look back on how things are going, we got to know that these numbers matter. And with these numbers mattering, how can we ever learn from them? There's another reason why these numbers matter. And I'm going to use an example, fair use. I love TikTok, y'all. It was a video about parenting. Let's watch it together. I'm going to try to get to it. Let me share it right quick. Share the screen. Comment, like, and subscribe to the channel, y'all. Good to see y'all boys today. Live has been fun this afternoon, man. Let's get it.
But she said, because here's the difference. What's the difference? Ready? Hey, did you have fun with Dad? Oh, that's great. Where'd you guys go? Oh, you went to the park? Oh, that's nice. That's good. It was fun. Oh, good. Did you have dinner? Oh, what did you have? Pizza? Oh, good. I know you like pizza. All right, well, go upstairs, brush your teeth. I'm so glad you're home. I missed you so much when you were away this weekend. Oh my gosh. Are you okay? Yeah, you okay? Yeah, you had a good time. You were with Dad? What you got? You went to the park today? It's so cold today. Did you? Oh my gosh, did you have pizza? That's all you had for dinner was pizza? Oh my gosh, why didn't they give you any vegetables? Well, you know, it's okay. You know what? I'm going to make your favorite soup. Go ahead upstairs, and when you come back down, I'm going to make you your favorite soup, and we're going to hang out, and we can watch TV together, okay? What did I just do? What did I just do? I just alienated that kid from Dad I just said, are you okay? That means Dad's dangerous. Why would I not be okay? I was with my dad. Like, this is what the face of alienation is now, is this negative gatekeeping.
What does it have to do with the topics? These are tactics that go against families. Why did I find this very eye-opening? I found this very eye-opening because no matter what you believe or thoughts or process to it, these are hindrances against families. We got to understand, y'all, the deepness on how families are being separated right now is so deep. The anti-family push, y'all, is such a big deal that I think we don't even think about it. We don't think about the real long-term effects from it. As I've said to you, y'all, I am 10 years from college, right? If in my generation, see that the numbers are low, I can look back over my shoulders and see it. Where do you think it's going to be this year's graduation class? We can say what we want. We can play, we can float, we can act like it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal. How do we close the gap in that? Because the boomers got 20, let's give them 20, 30 years. Then we're up. 10 years, I'll be 40-something, be 40. When we get to our 40s, what is life going to look like? Right now, from this point forward, what is it going to look like? Marriage, dating, crisis, families. What is it going to look like? We can be single, we can have fun, we can date. But until we get this family dynamic right in this country, y'all, it's going to be scary. Not in the way like it may be mayhem, but it could get ugly because we have a college bubble. As a college graduate, we have a college bubble, y'all. I tell people all the time, 10, 15 years, college is not going to be what it is now. It's not. It's too much. It's oversaturation now. As you work with young people, you hear young guys say openly that they don't want to go to college. There is a college bubble in this country. So if young men are not going to college, they're not coupling up, they're choosing to live a minimalist lifestyle, what's going to happen? Oh, mass changes are going to happen. Less houses are going to be bought. Less marriages are going to happen. More stores, more life stores, more things are going to close down. It's going to be a real thing. The single lifestyle is going to be more real. And I don't think the blinkers are loud. We hear them like, what this dude telling me? Yeah, I mean, what he's saying, I get it, but it's not sticking. It's not resonating. It's not, oh, this is scary. Because it is. It's so scary that if we don't check this thing, our life will be greatly affected. And if it's greatly affected, can we course correct? As I've shown you in this video, there are so many things that de-incentivize marriage and men have families. We see it with program, we see it with attitudes, we see it with community. We see what that incentivize it. And as I think long and hard to myself, as I'm going to do closing to this video, I don't know the answer. And it's scary. It's scary because I want to put the disclaimer out there in the world to say it, that I see it. I see the dating. Dating sucks. Dating apps are trash. It's trendy to say. But what they're not saying is that, man, it's going to be a lot of lonely people out here. It's going to be a lot of people with no option. It's going to be a lot of working elderly. It's going to be a lot of sick old people. It's going to be a lot of people working until they die. There's going to be a lot of that in the future. And as we're living right now in this current moment, live your life. Operate how you want to. Smile, joke, laugh, talk your shh. Do whatever needs to be done. But this sticks in the that may not do that most numbers. People may think, man, King Crowder talking crazy, which is true. But this topic right here, y'all, is real. It's one of the most important topics that we need to discuss even more. We may not have to like about how we went about it. It may bore you. Information may not be for you. But these detailed information that are being dropped on the long-term success and problems we have will be a never-ending cycle. And if we don't deal with our long-term issues, the problems will keep rising. When we speak about problems in this country, right, most of our problems are economic and family-based. 100%. You had a strong economic structure. You had family members that love you, appreciate you, and talk to you. Oh, the problems are not there anymore. They're gone. Go lucky. Once you're by yourself, you feel isolated. You don't have anybody to love and influence you. I am destructive. It's the same thing. If we don't have people believe in us, if we don't have others that do for us, if we don't have a do better type of lifestyle, we don't have a cogent family analysis, we don't have a tight, close-knit circle, we begin to see the fruits of our labor. We will. Good and bad. We will begin to see, I'm working hard and I feel like I'm not getting anywhere. I'm working hard to try to have something and no one is there to build with me. And the scariest part that's going to come from that is that once men lose motivation, if I go to school and work hard, what's going to incentivize me to have a family? If I go to school, try, be a good person, be an upstanding citizen, what's going to incentivize me to have my own family? Nothing. And we're in a scary place because if that sentiment is already implanted and it continues to grow and men lose motivation, they think, I'm just going to give you what I want to give you. We may hit a point where growth and lack of growth will be inevitable. We may hit a point where it ain't going to do nothing anymore. We may hit a point where it's going to be, you know what? This might be the end of an era. We hear it all the time that certain parts of America is on a decline, but we're seeing it. We're seeing the decline in numbers. We're seeing the decline in development. We're seeing the decline in houses, rates, mortgages, everything you want to name. What we're not seeing a decline is that this information is out. How do we change it? Remember, the career trap is relevant. The management trap, the mental trap, the travel trap, they're already set in stone. But you know we got to push first? Families. As in my community, more Black families discussion. Has to be. Without Black families, we don't have Black children, we don't have Black legacy, we don't have Black men, we don't have stronger Black homes. To conclude my thoughts, we are in a family and dating crisis in this country. I don't know how to solve it, but until we put a brain trust, a storm of activity together to focus on this problem, dating in America will continue to happen. Women are incentivized to break up. Men are incentivized not to have relationships. It is a replicable cycle. We got to figure out a way to incentivize more families and more relationships. Until we figure out that, we're going to continue to have the problems we have. I don't know how to solve it myself, but I think right now is a breaking point. Figure out a way to solve the problem, increase the results, and increase the families that will have the opportunities to replace themselves and develop their own country. It is I, your gracious host, King Crowder, back again with another edition of Live on Sunday. I want to thank y'all for tuning in to me, man. It was so fun to talk about the subject. It hit home to me. I know I didn't have a lot of notes, man. I wanted to kind of just speak on the topic because I believe it's real. Dating in this country, as much as we say dating sucks, we don't hunker along why it sucks. We just hear that slogan and say dating sucks. That's it. What we need to say, dating sucks because we don't have any direction. Dating sucks is because we don't know what we're doing. Dating sucks because the elders drop the balls on us. Until we start having those type of conversation, nothing's going to change. And with nothing changing, with nothing growing a different way, we're going to reap the sow of the results that have already been sown. So, comment, like, and subscribe. I hope you're enjoying Live on Sunday. Crisis in America, family, and dating. I hope all this information was helping you. Remember, if you're Black American, we got our own stats. If you're American in general, we have our own stats on love, dating, and the things going on in this country. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your family. Comment, like, and subscribe. Tune in to my next live. After that, your boy will be traveling next week. The week after next, going back to the beach. Interview coming. Interview alert. We got a few more things on the tally. BBMBC All Black Anniversary, man. 1 year coming. This week is going to be heavy. Corey Hogan, I'm going to see you Sunday. We got a lot going on this week. We got a lot going on. Enjoying myself. Enjoying the family. Enjoying the legacy. 1 year anniversary. Chiropractor. Therapy. Traveling. Man. This next 14 days for your boy will be a heavy subject. 13 days left in August. Hit your goals. Hit your milestones. Check on your people. Check on your family. I love you. Until next time. Peace.
Bye.